You do not need to see the whole path. You only need to take the next step and trust that the ground will be there. Before anything else, just stop for a moment. Stop trying. Stop planning. Stop holding. Take one breath in, slow, through the nose, and let it go. Just like that. Welcome to Sleepy Zen Story. I'm really glad you found your way here tonight. I want to ask you something, gently, with no pressure at all. Where in the world are you right now? Are you somewhere warm? Maybe the window is open and the night air is just beginning to cool things down, the day's heat finally releasing its grip on the room. Or are you somewhere that's already deep in darkness, the kind of quiet that settles in after everyone else has gone to sleep, and it's just you and the ceiling and the soft weight of the night? Maybe you're in a city, and even now, even this late, there's a faint hum outside, distant traffic, a voice somewhere. The world never quite fully stops. Or maybe you're in a place where the night is genuinely silent, where the only sound is your own breath, and, if you listen carefully enough, the sound of the house settling around you. Wherever you are, what time is it for you right now? Is it the edge of midnight? That strange threshold between one day and another? Is it earlier, and you're trying to get ahead of the restlessness before it catches up with you? Or later, much later, and sleep has been stubborn tonight? Take a moment to just notice where you are, and then, gently, let that thought go. You don't need to be anywhere other than here. You don't need to do anything other than this. If this quiet corner is something you want more of, more stories, more gentle nights, more unhurried journeys into rest, you can find it all by subscribing to Sleepy Zen Story. But let that be a thought for another time. Right now, there is only this breath, this moment, this path we're going to walk together.
Let your body find its resting shape, not the shape it holds during the day, braced, ready, alert. The other shape, the one it knows from long ago, the one that says, nothing is required of me right now. Feel the surface beneath you. Let it take your weight, all of it, without argument. Notice your hands. Are they still slightly clenched? Let them open, just a little, like a hand releasing something it no longer needs to hold. Notice your face, the small muscles around your eyes, the set of your jaw. Let them soften. You're not performing anything tonight. You're not being watched. You're not being measured. You are simply here, and here is enough. Take one more slow breath in, and as you breathe out, let the day begin to move away from you. Not gone, not erased, just stepping back, making room for the quiet for the story, for the path at dusk.
There is a path. You've seen paths like it before. Maybe in a memory, maybe in a dream you can't quite place. It winds through open countryside, not dramatic countryside, not mountains or oceans, just fields, quiet, ordinary fields. The kind where the grass grows in long, soft rows and the light in the evening turns everything the color of warm honey. The sky above this path is doing what evening skies do. It's shifting. The blue of afternoon is slowly deepening toward something richer, indigo at the highest point, a soft amber glow still clinging to the horizon where the sun has just gone below. The first stars are beginning to suggest themselves, not quite visible yet, just hinting. And on this path, at this hour, there is a woman walking. Her name, it doesn't matter. What matters is her pace. She walks the way rivers move, not fast, not slow, just steadily, one foot, then the other. Her shoes are worn in the way that only good shoes get worn, softened by use, shaped by the particular way she moves, comfortable in the way that nothing new ever quite is. She walks this path often, but tonight is different. Tonight, for the first time in a long while, she doesn't know where the path leads.
You see, she knows this path. She has walked it dozens of times, hundreds perhaps, and the long years she has lived near these fields. She knows where the path bends past the old stone wall. She knows the section where the roots of a large oak break through the dirt and you have to watch your step. She knows the spot where, in spring, wildflowers crowd the edges and you have to walk through a corridor of color. She knows all of this. But tonight, as the light fades and the crickets begin their slow chorus, she reaches a place she does not recognize. A fork. Two paths splitting from one. She stops. She looks left. The left path goes into a small grove of trees, dark already, the canopy closing off the evening light, cool air coming from it, the sound of leaves shifting. She looks right. The right path continues through open field, lighter for now, the sky still visible overhead, wider, more of what she already knows. She stands at the fork for a long moment, and the question rises in her, the way it rises in all of us when we reach unexpected places. Which way is right? Her mind naturally begins to work. The left path is darker. Darker could mean danger. Darker could mean getting lost. What if there are roots she can't see? What if the grove goes on longer than expected and the light disappears entirely before she finds her way through? But then, the right path. The right path she knows, but she also knows that known paths can become worn thin. What if the right path leads somewhere she has already been, somewhere she has outgrown, somewhere that no longer has anything to offer? What if choosing right is choosing to stay the same? What if choosing left is choosing the wrong kind of unknown? And underneath both questions, a quieter one, more persistent, more familiar. What if I choose wrong? You know this feeling, don't you? Not just about paths, about decisions, about conversations,
About the direction your life has been moving. That particular anxiety that doesn't announce itself loudly, It doesn't arrive with a crash or a crisis. It simply sits beside you, quietly, patient as stone, whispering, "What if you're going the wrong way? What if you've already gone the wrong way? What if the right path was behind you, back at a fork you didn't even notice?" Breathe. Breathe with me for a moment. In, slowly, and out, even slower. Let that question, whatever version of it lives in you, just be there. You don't have to answer it tonight. You don't have to solve it. Just let it be a sound, like the crickets, present, but not in charge. The woman had been standing at the fork long enough for the sky to darken by another shade. The amber on the horizon was almost gone now. The first star had confirmed itself, steady, clear, indifferent to forks in the path. And then she heard footsteps coming from behind her along the path she had just walked. An old farmer making his way home. He carried nothing in his hands, no tools, no bag, just himself, moving in that particular unhurried way of people who have spent decades doing physical work and made peace with the slowness of their own body. He reached the fork. He looked at the woman. He looked at the two paths, and he said simply, "Evening." "Evening," she replied. Then, because the question was right there, pressing against the inside of her chest, "Do you know these paths?" "I do," he said. "Which one should I take?" He looked at her for a moment, not unkindly.
The way someone looks when they're deciding not whether to answer, but how. Then he said, "Where are you trying to go?" She opened her mouth and then closed it again, because the honest answer, the one she found when she actually looked for it, was, "I'm not sure." The farmer nodded as if this were the most reasonable thing he had heard all day. Then, "It doesn't much matter which one you choose," he said. "Both of them go somewhere, and somewhere is better than here." He gestured, not pointing at either path in particular, just gesturing at the world in general, and continued walking, down the right path as it happened, not because it was right, just because it was the one that went toward his house. The woman watched him go. The sound of his footsteps, that soft, even rhythm on the dirt, faded slowly. And then she was alone again. Alone with the fork. Alone with the darkening sky. Alone with the crickets, who had opinions of none of this and were simply singing because that is what crickets do at dusk. She thought about what the farmer had said. Both of them go somewhere. It was such a small thing to say, so obviously true, and yet it had done something, shifted something inside her chest, because the fear at the heart of every fork in every path is never really about the paths. It is about the belief that one choice leads to disaster and the other leads to everything you need. That there is a wrong answer. That the wrong answer will cost you everything. That somewhere out there is the correct version of your life, and any deviation from it means arriving somewhere lesser. But both paths go somewhere. Both paths are made of the same dirt. Both paths are walked one step at a time. And one step at a time, that, she realized, was all that had ever been required of her. Not certainty, not a map, not the guarantee of a good outcome. just one step. And then, if that step held, another. She turned to the left path, not because she was sure, because she was curious. And she stepped into the grove.
The trees closed around her. And yes, it was darker. Of course it was darker. But not the darkness of danger, the darkness of shelter. The canopy overhead filtered the remaining light into something soft and silver. The air here was cooler, noticeably cooler, and it carried a smell she recognized without being able to name. Something green, something old, something that had been here long before her and would be here long after. She kept walking, one foot, then the other. The path was still clear beneath her feet, even in the low light. It had been walked before, by others who had reached that fork and chosen left. Their footsteps had worn it smooth. She was not the first, she would not be the last. And with each step, something interesting happened. The question, which way is right, lost its grip a little. Not because she had answered it, but because she was moving. And movement, it turns out, is its own kind of answer. Not the answer to where you're going, but the answer to, am I capable of continuing? And the answer was, yes, yes, you are.
There is something that anxiety does, and it is important to understand it because understanding it changes its power.
Anxiety freezes. It takes you to the fork and it says, before you take another step, you must know. Before you move, you must be certain. Before you choose, you must eliminate all risk. And so you stand, and the sky gets darker, and the certainty never comes. Because certainty, real certainty, the kind anxiety demands, is not something the world gives out. It never has. It never will. What the world offers instead is this: the ground beneath your feet, solid, present, holding you up, and the possibility of one more step. That's it. That is the entire offer. And it turns out, it has always turned out, that one more step is enough. Because after that step, there is another ground, another foothold, another moment of being held. You don't need the whole path illuminated. You never did. You only ever needed to see as far as your next step. And the dark has never been so dark that you couldn't find that much.
The grove ended, as groves do. On the other side, a clearing opened up, wide and still and breathing. The sky above it was fully dark now, in the way that evening becomes night, gradually, then completely. And the stars were out. Not a few, not the tentative handful she had seen earlier. All of them. The whole crowded, careless, ancient scatter of them, stretching from one edge of the clearing to the other, more stars than dark between them. The woman stopped walking. She tilted her head back, and she stood there in the middle of the clearing, in the middle of the evening, in the middle of a path she had never walked before, and she looked at the sky. And the sky looked back, the way it always does, patient, vast, entirely unconcerned with forks in paths.
I want you to breathe with me for a moment, wherever you are. Imagine, if you like, that you are in that clearing. The ground beneath you is solid. The air is cool and smells of grass and earth and the particular cleanness of a night that has just begun. The stars above are doing what they have always done, being there, quietly, without effort, without explanation. Breathe in, slowly. Feel your chest rise. Hold it for just a moment at the top.
And breathe out. Long, complete. Let your body settle with that exhale. Let your shoulders drop. Let your face go soft. Again.
In and out. The stars don't ask you to explain yourself. The crickets don't need to know your plans. The clearing doesn't judge how long it took you to get here. You arrived. That is everything.
The woman sat down. Right there, in the clearing, on the ground. The grass was cool and slightly damp, the evening dew already beginning to settle, and she didn't care. She sat with her legs loosely crossed and her hands resting open on her knees, and she thought about the fork. She thought about how certain she had been, standing there, that the wrong choice would mean something irreversible, something lost. And now, sitting here in this clearing she would never have found on the other path, she understood that the fear had been about control, the need to know the outcome before agreeing to the journey. But journeys don't work that way. They never have. The best ones, especially. The best ones ask you to step into the uncertain part, the grove, the dark, and trust that what's on the other side is worth it. Not because someone guaranteed it, not because the odds were good, but because walking is what you do, because continuing is who you are. Because somewhere in the long story of your life, you have walked through the dark parts before, and here you are, still walking, still arriving.
Let your eyes close if they haven't already. Let the clearing become the space behind your eyelids, soft, dark, full of stars you can't quite see, but somehow feel are there. Your body is heavier now. That's right. That's sleep beginning to make its case. Let it. Don't negotiate with it. Don't say 5 more minutes of thinking. Don't say one more thing to figure out. Just let the weight come. Let your legs go heavy. Let your arms go still. Let your jaw unhinge just slightly. That soft dropping that happens at the edge of sleep when the body finally stops performing wakefulness. You're safe. The ground is holding you. The night is around you, and it means you no harm.
In the clearing, the woman lies back. The grass receives her. The sky remains above, patient, enormous, unhurried. A single cloud passes slowly across a cluster of stars, then continues on. The crickets sing. They don't know about forks in paths. They don't know about anxiety. They only know this: the evening is here. The air is warm enough, and there is something in them that must be expressed. So they sing. And their singing fills the clearing, the way water fills a vessel, completely, without rushing, finding every corner. The woman breathes, in and out. Her thoughts are still there. They don't disappear, but they have moved to the edge of things. They are like the tree line at the edge of the clearing, present, visible, but not where you are right now. You are in the open part, the soft part, the part where the stars are.
There's nothing you need to resolve tonight. The fork in the path will still be there in the morning, but you will approach it differently. Not because you'll have more information, but because you will have slept. Sleep is not nothing. Sleep is not surrender. Sleep is the thing that makes the next step possible. Sleep is where the body repairs what the day has strained. Sleep is where the mind loosens the knots it has been pulling tight all day long. Sleep is generous. It asks nothing of you. It only asks that you stop asking things of yourself. So stop. Stop now. Let the questions rest. Let the planning rest. Let the replaying of conversations and rehearsing of worries and cataloging of uncertainties rest. They will be there when you need them. They always are. But tonight they are not needed. Tonight, only one thing is needed, and you are already doing it.
In the clearing, under the stars, the woman is almost asleep. She did not solve anything tonight. She did not get a map. She did not receive a guarantee. She chose the left path because she was curious. She walked through the dark because walking is what you do. She found a clearing she didn't know existed. She lay down, and the sky held her the way it holds everything. The moon now, risen while she walked, has found the clearing and is laying a soft silver path across the grass, not to anywhere in particular, just light, just the quiet generosity of a moon that rises every night, whether anyone is watching or not. She breathes one more time, in and out. And she is gone, down into sleep, the way you go down into deep water, gradually and then completely. The path at dusk teaches this: you do not need to see where it ends. You only need to feel the ground beneath your feet and take the next step, and the next, and the next, until the grove opens into a clearing, until the clearing opens into stars, until the stars become the soft dark behind your eyes, and everything, every worry, every fork, every question that felt like it needed an answer tonight becomes part of the quiet, part of the field, part of the long, patient evening that holds us all. Let the crickets sing. Let the moon do its slow crossing. Let your breath be the only path you walk right now, in and out,
a path that goes nowhere except deeper into rest. You have walked enough today. You have carried enough. You have figured out enough. Now let the night take over. It knows what to do. It has been doing this for longer than worry has existed, and it will still be doing it long after tonight's questions have answered themselves. Sleep now. The path will be there in the morning. The ground will be solid. The next step will come. But that is morning's work, and this is night. Good night from Sleepy Zen Story.